Ever wondered how ancient Israel functioned before the rise of monarchy? Dive with me into a whirlwind tale of tribes, conflicts, and monumental shifts in history. Before kings ruled Israel, the land was split between 12 tribes. These tribes weren't fully independent, but had one common leader called a judge. Imagine this as having a team captain during times of strife. And oh boy, did they have strife. History says the Hebrews were once enslaved in Egypt before they set foot in the Levant. Here, they overpowered many Canaanite cities. Yet, as they progressed north, this aggression faded. This judge-led era spanned from the 14th to the 11th century BC. Here's a fun fact. During this time, different tribes often paid dues or tributes to nearby kingdoms like the Moabites, Canaanites, and even the Philistines. Now, let's dive a bit deeper. The term judge in this context doesn't mean someone with a gavel in a courtroom. The Bible describes these judges as heroic figures. They were raised by God in times of need to rescue the Israelites from their oppressors. Remember Samson with his superhuman strength? Or Deborah, the wise leader and prophetess? Yep, they were judges. The Philistines were a constant thorn in Israel's side. One notable story from the Bible is the epic showdown between the young shepherd David and the Philistine giant Goliath. With just a sling and a stone, David defeated Goliath, symbolizing Israel's resilience against bigger foes. Moabites, on the other hand, had their moments too. Remember Ruth from the Bible? She was a Moabitess who chose to stay with her mother-in-law Naomi, saying, "Where you go, I will go." Ruth's story is one of loyalty and faith. She later becomes the great-grandmother of King David. The Canaanites, meanwhile, were the original inhabitants of the Promised Land. Their conflicts with the Israelites were numerous, yet there are instances of alliance. Rahab, a Canaanite from Jericho, helped Israelite spies and secured safety for her family when Jericho was conquered. A curious aspect of this era was the cyclical pattern. The Israelites would often turn away from God, face oppression from neighboring tribes, cry out for help, and then God would raise a judge to deliver them. Once peace was restored, they'd fall back into old habits, and the cycle would start anew. Barak, encouraged by Deborah, led the Israelites to a massive victory against the Canaanites. But what's beautiful here is the collaboration between a male and female leader, quite progressive for those times. Then there's Gideon. Initially doubtful and unsure, he needed multiple signs from God. Eventually he musters the courage, trusts in God, and with just 300 men, defeats the massive Midianite army. His story serves as a reminder that with faith, numbers don't matter. Jephthah's tale is a tad tragic. He makes a rash vow to God during a battle and ends up sacrificing something dear to him. It's a cautionary tale about making promises without thinking them through. Samson's strength is legendary, but his love for Delilah was his downfall. She, persuaded by the Philistines, coaxes him into revealing the source of his strength. This story is often seen as a lesson on the dangers of temptation and betrayal. The Book of Judges concludes with Samson's redemption, where, in his final act, he brings down the temple of the Philistines, killing more in his death than during his life. It serves as a testament to the idea that it's never too late to turn things around. The era of judges was more than just rulers and battles. It was filled with lessons, faith, redemption, and the constant hope for a brighter future. Speaking of Philistines, these guys had an edge. Why? They wielded iron weapons and had chariots. Israel felt like they were playing catch-up, and in the north, they constantly clashed with the Damascus kings. These northern folks introduced Aramaic, which by the 1st century became the region's main lingo. People got tired. They didn't want judges anymore. They craved a king. Samuel, the last judge, crowned Saul as the first ever king. But drama ensued. David, Saul's young favorite, gained popularity and had to escape Saul's envy. He took refuge with, ironically, the Philistines. After Saul's unfortunate demise in battle, David saw an opening. Gathering an ensemble of warriors, David first overtook the south and claimed Jerusalem. Then, he conquered the north, effectively consolidating his rule. David wasn't just a king, he was a war strategist. When David's time ended, Solomon, his son, took the mantle. Solomon was like the billionaire of his age, rich and incredibly wise, but all was not well. Post his death, the northern tribes rebelled, with Samaria becoming their hub. The south, however, stayed loyal to Solomon's lineage. Here's where things get spicy. Jeroboam, previously in exile in Egypt, was hailed by the northern tribes as a hero. The split between Israel, north, and Judah, south, was nasty. Both had bad blood from the get-go. Egypt saw an opportunity and invaded Judah. This dominance waned when King Asa of Judah defeated an Egyptian-backed Ethiopian army. This tumultuous Israel-Judah saga continued until Assyrians swept Israel off its feet. Israel's king mistakenly counted on Egypt, leading to Israel's downfall. Those who survived the Assyrian onslaught got dispersed across their vast empire. Judah's last ruler, Zedekiah, tried to outsmart the Babylonians. Bad move. They overran Jerusalem and sent many into exile in Babylon. But hope wasn't lost. Under Persian rule, these captives returned home. True independence came after a revolt against the Seleucid Empire, establishing a Jewish-led state in the Levant. Yet in 69 BC, Rome's Pompey Magnus had other plans. He took Jerusalem and set his puppet ruler. Judea soon became a client state of Rome. Herod the Great, a Roman ally, tried winning hearts by revamping Jerusalem's temple. But high taxes and his Roman connection made him unpopular. Post-Herod, his domain was divided among his kin. Yet after his grandson, Herod Agrippa's demise, Rome incorporated Judea. By 70 AD, after a revolt, Romans decimated Jerusalem and its elite. Another revolt in 132 AD under Bar Kokhba went south. The Roman Emperor Hadrian punished Jews by exiling them from Jerusalem. Phew, that was ancient Israel and its roller coaster ride in a nutshell. Enjoyed this quick history run? Drop your thoughts below, and if you liked it, don't be shy. Hit that like button, ring the bell, and subscribe.